look. If you go to the club, you point out 10 bad ones. You use the same line on all 10. Just be like, hey, you wanna fuck? One will say, that was bold. And give you a
phone. I didn't know nothing about like webcam, StreamYard. I had to learn all of that because I only came to YouTube because I was beefing with him. So when I came up with the show idea of like ESPN style, because I'm learning as I go. So I had this channel. I know Matt Barnes. They got all the smoke, right? But they're on Showtime, so they have infrastructure.
On July 30th, 2025, former NBA All-Star turned YouTuber Gilbert Arenas got hit with a shocking arrest in Los Angeles, and not for anything basketball related. Authorities say he was caught up in a federal indictment for running an illegal high-stakes gambling ring right inside a luxury home he was renting. Yeah, that same house doubled as his so-called private poker spot known as Gil's Arena. But here's the wild twist. Gil's Arena wasn't just a real poker setup, it was also the name of his viral YouTube show. And before all this chaos, Gilbert was all over YouTube not to create uplifting content, but to roast people and start drama. And let's be real, he's hilarious. The man's got jokes for days. Many even call him one of the funniest ex-athletes online. Still, if you're gonna spend all day online talking slick and cracking jokes, why not turn it into cash, right? And that's exactly what Gilbert did. He built up Gil's Arena, bringing in ex-NBA stars like Brandon Jennings, Rashad McCants, Nick Young, and even Kenyon Martin Sr. The chemistry, crazy. The show, viral gold. It took off so fast that Gilbert eventually made a major business move, selling half the show to a sports betting giant called Underdog Fantasy. According to Gilbert, this wasn't just a sellout move, it was a strategy. He said the deal gave Underdog control over production and operations so they could scale the show up while he kicked back and watched it grow. Then, when the time was right, he'd take back full control. Smart move, or maybe not, because once that deal hit the public, YouTube exploded. Gilbert jumped into heated debates with his longtime rival Kwame Brown, and influencer Anton Daniels, who's never far from controversy, joined the conversation too. Anton couldn't wrap his head around why Gilbert would give away 50% of a gold mine, calling it a risky move for someone who had already built a loyal audience. But here's the interesting part. When Anton challenged him, Gilbert didn't snap back or try to clown him. He stayed calm, didn't diss his team, and didn't even defend the decision too hard. Instead, he just said one thing loud and clear. Listen, it felt like Gilbert knew exactly what he was doing, even if no one else did. Yeah, okay, I get what Anton was saying because honestly, Gilbert wasn't defending anyone on his own show. He stayed totally chill, acting like none of it mattered. And that's exactly what got people talking. Anton had a point. Just because someone was a star on the court doesn't mean they automatically know how to thrive online. Plenty of ex-players think their fame will carry them, but YouTube is a whole different game. You gotta keep people entertained every single day, and that takes way more than just a good jump shot. But when Kenyon Martin heard Anton's criticism, oh, he was not having it. He came straight for him, directly and unapologetically. Kenyon's always been known for his no-filter attitude, and this was no exception. Now, this part got messy fast. Kenyon basically called out Anton Daniels, acting like, who even is this dude? While Gilbert sat back pretending not to know him either. That's cold. It's wild, because Kenyon and Gilbert both acted like Anton was some random guy off the street, when in reality, Anton's got over 1 million followers and has been building his brand for years. The disrespect was loud. And that's the thing. Kenyon might be brash, but he's not dumb. He knows every man on that podcast plays a role. Not everyone's supposed to be the main voice. Some guys are there to drop inside stories, some to crack jokes, some just to keep the vibe alive. Without that mix, the show would be dry. You can't call dudes like Kenyon or Brandon Jennings trash when they're the ones adding the flavor that keeps people watching. Anton, on the other hand, was judging them from a YouTuber's point of view, thinking only about views and clicks, while Kenyon sees it from an NBA insider's lens. They're talking from two totally different worlds. Anton's logic made sense for YouTube. He was saying without Gilbert, the show might not hit the same numbers, but Kenyon's reality is different. He's been in the locker rooms, on the teams, In the drama, he's seen what really goes down behind the scenes while Anton's working off what's public. That's a big difference. And honestly, Anton kind of underestimated how much value these ex-players bring to a show like that. When Kenyon or Brandon speaks, it hits different because they lived it. They've got real connections, real experiences, not just research. I mean, let's be real. None of us can talk about what it's like to go head-to-head with legends or deal with NBA politics unless we've been there. Kenyon's been around those locker room secrets, those unspoken rules, those real tensions that never make the headlines. So when Anton calls them trash, it's not just shade. It's straight up dismissing decades of experience. And what really rubbed people the wrong way? Gilbert sitting there acting like he didn't even know Anton. That was cold-blooded, especially considering Anton's built his own empire online and worked hard for that spotlight. You could tell it stung. The way they all played it off like Anton was some irrelevant outsider was pure ego at work. But here's the truth. Both sides had a point. YouTubers like Anton grind non-stop, creating, editing, and pushing content daily just to stay in the algorithm. But guys like Kenyon and Brandon, they've already been part of the showbiz machine. They just move in a different way. So for Gilbert to let Anton sit there, take all that shade, and not say a word to back him up, that was foul. Straight up, you're on the same podcast, the same conversation, and instead of defending the man's name, you play like you've never heard of him. That was pure pettiness on display. The whole thing showed just how deep the divide is between YouTubers and ex-athletes. One world built on digital hustle, the other on real-world credibility. And Gilbert, he's sitting right in the middle of it, playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. He comes up on a live stream, you're sitting there chopping it up with the dude online, then suddenly Gilbert's acting like he don't even know Anton's name anymore. What? That's wild. And when Anton starts calling him out for not standing up for his own crew, Gilbert still doesn't say a thing to defend them. That right there tells you everything you need to know. Gilbert Arenas is not a solid dude. Real talk, that's not loyalty. If I'm on a podcast with people who help me build my brand every single day, and someone tries to clown them by saying, yo, that show only popping cause you on it, the rest of them are trash and I'm stepping in. Even if deep down I don't think they're the strongest voices, I'm still saying, hold up, bro. Don't disrespect my team. That's what a real one does. You defend the people who help you eat. Without those co-hosts, the guys who bring the energy, the banter, the real talk, Gilbert's podcast wouldn't even hit the same. But instead of backing them, he flips the script, acting brand new like, what's his name again? When Kenyon Martin brings Anton up. That's straight up fake behavior, dusty and two-faced. And let's be honest, that kind of move is foul. It's not just fake, it's straight betrayal. You can't be smiling in someone's face one day, breaking bread with their family, knowing their kids, chilling at their house, and then turn around and pretend you don't know them the next. That's shady on a whole other level. Kenyon Martin's the kind of dude who values loyalty. He's raw, he's real, he's been through the trenches. If you're gonna stand next to him and call yourself his brother, then act like you don't know the man the minute a camera's on. Nah, that's foul energy. And Anton, yeah, maybe he's not part of that NBA circle, but he still deserves respect. He's out here doing his own thing, building something from the ground up. For Gilbert to let someone come on his platform and disrespect a guest, someone who's not even part of that world, without checking it right away, man, that's weak. It would have taken one sentence from Gilbert, one little clap back like, yo, who are you talking to? Don't come for my people like that. And Anton would have had to back down right there on the spot. That's what a real leader does. Checks disrespect before it spreads. But Gilbert stayed quiet, and that silence spoke volumes. That kind of passive-aggressive behavior says a lot about how someone moves when you're not around. You ever wonder how your private business ends up being known by people who shouldn't know it? That's usually how somebody smiling in your face while whispering your name behind your back. And once you see that pattern, believe it. Because that same energy you see online, that's how they move in real life too. The ones who play both sides, act neutral, and never speak up, those are the ones leaking your business the second you turn your back. So yeah, this whole situation showed Gilbert's true colors. Not standing up for his own crew, pretending not to know people he's cool with, and letting outsiders talk reckless without saying a word. That's not loyalty, that's fake energy all the way. What do you think? Was Gilbert really just keeping the peace, or did he straight up expose himself as someone who can't be trusted? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more Real Talk breakdowns. See you in the next one.